It's crazy because in a lot of ways, this system has a lot of us in shackles. Like a lot of us are in shackles. The thing about it is, some people know they're in shackles and they feel like there's nothing that can be done about it. There's some people who don't know they're in shackles. There's some people who know they're in shackles and they're doing everything to break free. There's some people who would rather pretend they're not in shackles, because once they pretend they're not in shackles, they can stay close to the person or thing that has them in shackles, and they might get a piece of meat versus someone else who gets a piece of bone. I'm trying to tie this in by saying people like Tim Scott, those type of people are dangerous. They are dangerous because they have no sense of self. They have no sense of self. I promise you, Tim Scott has no sense of self. And the reason I say that is because how are you running against someone and you're saying this person lacks integrity, they're this and they're that, but then you turn around and endorse that very same person? So that means that you're not a person of integrity either. Because if you were saying, the reason I'm running against this person because they have no integrity, and then you go ahead and endorse them. And people like those are scary because they'll do anything to be in proximity. Anything. There is like no worth there. Because what happens when he gets close to someone like the man he endorsed, then that man is gonna try to hook him up to be like, see, there is no oppression because Tim Scott's making it. So really he's just using him though to say, see, he made it. He made it. You know, it's kind of like the house versus the field. Like the people in the house might have gotten some meat. The people in the field, they're just getting bones. So you start to feel like you equate that in your head, like, it's not that bad. I'm better than you. At least I'm not the one with the bone. When really you could just be free and fight for people who look like you, fight for other people who are oppressed, fight against the system. Like, it just always blows my mind when I see people so desperate to fit in. Like, I mean, desperate to fit in. And we see this across every industry and circumstance. Like, for you to be able to compromise who you are, your soul, just to fit in, like, that should say, wait a minute, is this something I really want to do? But people will do anything for advancement. People will do anything for the illusion of success or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But success to me personally isn't having to just disregard my being. Like, how much are we willing to compromise? How far are we willing to go? How much of ourselves are we willing to lose?